This past year, the Coming of Age program has provided our eighth grade youth, with the chance to dive more deeply into our Unitarian Universalist faith. Throughout the year, the youth have had the opportunity to develop their thoughts and beliefs amongst peers and adult mentors, develop a foundation for the lifelong participation in the Unitarian Universalist movement, and to engage in service learning with one another. Also embedded within the program was the time and opportunity for deep, authentic relationships across the generations to develop. Facilitators Mark Metz, Sally Buckholt, Scott Emma Sinclair, Jean McCracken, Catherine Sutton, and Keegan Walpole led the way. The time and energy that this group of people has committed to the program, our youth, and our church is endless. I know that facilitation of the group also offers them opportunity for spiritual growth and deepening. This fall, each youth was paired with an adult mentor from the congregation. The role of the mentor was to not only serve as an adult figure other than a parent, but also someone who would listen to and even challenge their mentee. The youth and their mentor worked on a service project together and had class meetings at least twice a month. Mentors also played a key role in working with each youth on formulating what has become their faith statement. Rituals and tradition were a vital part of each Wednesday evening, including lighting the chalice and singing the Hymn of Valor. The Coming of Age program ultimately gave the youth the thought-provoking time and space in which to determine what is morally and spiritually essential for their lives and how they will interact within this world as they journey toward adulthood. Developing this kind of understanding or faith statement is a practice many adults have not even had the chance or intentionally taken the time to do. With the culmination of an individual faith statement, each week the big questions were tackled. What do you believe about God? What happens after we die? How do you live a moral life? With the help of their families, coming-of-age facilitators, mentors, and their church community, these youth were able to learn who they are and what they stand for. In conclusion, with the development of the following personal statements of faith. We have 2 youth that are sick this morning as well. Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Elaine Imlau, and it's been my pleasure this year to work with and get to know and introduce to you now the multi-talented, self-aware, and aspiring Josephine Stinson.
Hello, my name is Josephine Stinson, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am 13 years old and have recently completed this church's Coming of Age program. My family joined this church a little over 3 years ago when I was about 10 years old. When I first heard the idea, courtesy of my dad, that our family was going to be joining a church, I was less than thrilled. My mind jumped straight to the only church that I'd ever attended a service at, my grandmother's Catholic church. I'd been to a couple services there when I was younger, and of course, my mind had found it excruciatingly, mind-numbingly boring. So you can understand my nervousness when my dad told me that we were attending a church service. I don't really remember the first service I went to, or even if I sat through the entire thing. I do remember, however, that I was pleasantly surprised. My parents were obviously pleased with the experience as well, because we still show up here most Sundays when we can. When I was told to compose a faith statement to read aloud to the congregation, I was stumped. Am I honestly interesting enough to stand up here and talk about myself and my beliefs for a whole 3 minutes? I am a Unitarian Universalist, and I believe in the 7 principles of Unitarianism, and my morals align with the morals of this church. Though I don't believe in a higher power, or a God, or any sort of afterlife or reincarnation, I believe that we only have one chance at life, and that means that we need to take risks and try to live our lives to the fullest that we can. There are many things that I do want to accomplish before I die. I'd like to maybe go to Amsterdam, attend a university, or become a psychiatrist. Being optimistic, I'd say I have a long time to do these things before I die. I think that I've believed in these things for pretty much my entire life. I attended a religious preschool, and my grandparents are Catholic, so I've been exposed to other religions. My dad is atheist and my mom is agnostic, but my parents gave me the freedom to choose what religious path I wanted to take. I have wondered what would happen to me if there were a God. Would I go to heaven or hell? Does this God control all our actions? And if so, why did they make the bad people in the first place? I think the uncertainty of what God truly is part of the reason that I don't believe in them. The fact that I don't believe in a God doesn't mean that I don't have morals or believe that there aren't consequences to your actions. As I said before, I am a Unitarian Universalist, and my morals align with our 7 principles. When I was younger, I strongly believed in being very vocal about my opinions. And by that, I mean all my opinions, including my political and religious opinions. When I was in the 5th grade, one of my peers walked up to me and said, "I thought that you were smart until I heard that you don't believe in God." I did not know how to respond to that. I was completely shocked. I honestly hadn't realized that so many people in my school were Christian. I may have just assumed that everyone here had the same opinions as me, but that's rarely the case. And in case you were wondering, he and I are pretty good friends now. I'm less vocal about my political and religious opinions now, but if anyone asks me what I believe in, I'll tell them that I'm a Unitarian Universalist. Lastly, I believe in the power of finding your bliss. I've been told that I'm a very passionate person and that I take the things that I care about very seriously. I'm a musician, dancer, friend, sister, explorer, and an artist. I'm blessed with the fact that I have the resources to be and do all of these things. I'm blessed with my mentors and my teachers, and my abilities, which I've worked so hard to obtain and keep. I'm blessed with my passions, and last but not least, I'm blessed with the life I have been given, and I'm proud to call myself a Unitarian Universalist.
Good morning. My name is Petra Liang, and it has been an extraordinary honor to serve as a mentor to this amazing young man, Sean Houchins McCullum. He is remarkably insightful, delightfully dedicated, and exceptionally intelligent. Please join in welcoming Sean.
When I first came to COA, I thought it would be this boring, cheesy class that I had no interest in. I had maybe one friend in the class, and it just didn't appeal to me. I came to the first class prepared to be bored out of my mind, but I actually had some fun. After 2 or 3 weeks of COA, I would always look forward to Wednesdays, and I made some new friends in the class too. COA has helped me learn a lot about my beliefs and faith, but especially what I value. I think that some of the things I value most in life are being caring, community, and the UU principles. I think that it's important to be caring, because if you are caring towards others, then they are more likely to be caring back to you. Although, sometimes, if you try to be caring to people, they may not return the favor. However, I believe that you should still be caring to them no matter what, because it is the right thing to do, and the world would be a better place if everyone was as caring as they could be. When my grandmother was sick and passed away, you would not believe the amount of help and support that my family and I got from our friends, and it felt really good. This makes me want to support other people through hard times. It is also important to care about people I don't know, and I have learned that one way to do this is to fight for a more just and fair society. Another thing that I value is community. I enjoy community because I like spending time with my friends and family, and when I am struggling or having a hard time with something, like with what happened to my grandmother, my community will support me, whether it is emotional struggling, physical struggling, or a different kind. I think that the bigger the community, the more people that you have to help you through hard times. And it is more enjoyable with the bigger community because you have more people to talk to and be around. Communities are also valuable because different people can give you different ideas and perspective about things. The last thing I value a lot in life is the UU principles. All 7 of them send good messages, and I think that they are all important. One of my favorite UU principles would be the first one. The first UU principle is the inherent worth and dignity of every person. I like this one a lot because I do not believe that any humans are better than others, and no individuals or groups should be treated better than others. Another one of my favorites is the third UU principle, which is acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregation. I really like this one because I think it ties in well with another one of my values, caring. In order to accept one another, you first have to be caring. COA has helped me realize my values more clearly. One of the things that COA has given me is a caring community. All of my friends, facilitators, my friends' mentors, and especially my own mentor, has given me support through COA and helped me when I needed it. The UU principles are what made this community so valuable, because every person in COA has inherent worth and dignity, as the first UU principle says. And we also encourage each other and accept one another through spiritual growth, like the third UU principle. Thank you to all of you for being part of a congregation that helps me live my values day to day.
Good morning. My name is Linda Cripple, and it has been an absolutely delightful year being able to mentor Rachel Brock. I have 3 words that describe Rachel. The first one is perspicacious. She can answer what that means. She'll define that for you after the service. The other word is bookworm and definitely funny. Rachel.
When I first heard that I had to write a faith statement, I had a smidgen of a freak out. The thought of standing in front of a bunch of people and giving a speech was terrifying. I put off writing my faith statement until the beginning of April because I didn't really know what I wanted to write about. I had thought of some things, but none of them stuck to a concrete idea. The second day of April was when I finally found a good topic. During physics class that day, I got into a discussion about the origin of the universe with a classmate. A heavy topic for science class, I know. But my classmate would not let go of the fact that I had a scientific explanation for the origins of human civilization. I talked about evolution and how we evolved from single-celled organisms in the ocean and how the Big Bang created all the energy in the universe. The conversation made me realize how much science has affected my view of the world around me. Even when my family and I went to a Christian church, I still had a scientific view of the planet and its origins. So when my mom and dad decided to come to this church, the first thing I asked was Unitarian Universalism, because at the time I had no idea of what it was. But the second thing I asked was, what is their view on science? My mom laughed a bit and replied, if you seriously said that you believed in the flying spaghetti monster, they wouldn't care. So I agreed to come. I quickly found out that science was a large part of the ideals here. I was very glad that we had found a place where my entire family could get everything that we wanted from a church. For a long time before then, I had just thought that I had no religion, that I didn't believe in anything. That changed after I heard about the 7 principles of UUism. To me, religion had just been someone telling you what to think and expecting you to believe it. I'd never really been to a place where you could think what you wanted and not have to bite your tongue when something was said that you didn't agree with. So learning that there could be values in a place where your beliefs were free was interesting. I found that religion wasn't just about asking for stuff or praying to a god. It could also be ways that you live your life. I also found that the values in UUism are quite humanist, but have their own twists that make them unique. The one thing that I think I got most out of coming of age is the question of, who do you want to be? That question is very vague and can take years to fully understand. Through the direction of my mentor and facilitators, I've gotten somewhat of a grasp on how our values can shape who we are and who we want to be in the future. Over time, my values may change along with who I want to be. But for now, the person I want to be is kinder, more knowledgeable, and a better listener than I am now. But most importantly, someone who can help the planet be healthy and whole again. That plan goes along with the values that I find important. Mostly compassion, an understanding of the inherent worth and dignity of everything, and an appreciation for the interdependent web of life that is shown throughout the many ecosystems of our world. These values help me to see the importance of conserving our planet and the animals that live on it for the future. Thank you.
Good morning. When I first met Sara, I was taken by how busy she was. Not only actively involved in 8th grade and the social life that goes along with it, but also practicing and training and competing in, it seems like, at least one competitive sport every season. As the year went on, I found out this kid is also truly curious, really thoughtful, and a whole lot of fun. So it's my pleasure this morning to introduce you to my mentee, Sara Galuzzo.
I believe in a benevolent God who is kind-hearted and loves everyone, regardless of religion or skin color. I do not believe that this entity can control things or make our dreams come true. What I believe they do is show us what we need to do in order to achieve our goals, and it must be ourselves that chooses to do the work and put in the effort. Many people have different ideas about what happens after you die. What I believe is that you become thoughts. You aren't a physical body, but you can go wherever you want. The thing I remember the most about church is when they would say, "Please rise in body or spirit." That is extremely comforting to me. I personally have never had anyone in my close family die, but when I have talked to people who have had a family member pass away, they say that they can hear them or see the lights flicker. I believe that this is the minds of the dead wishing for this to happen as a way to show their loved ones that they are still there. I have many quotes on my bedroom wall. I will share my favorite one by Michael Jordan. It says, "You have to expect things of yourself before you can do them. Some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and others make it happen." First thing, most of what I believe in has been greatly inspired by sports. I have done competitive sports for as long as I can remember. Second, a few years ago, I started to love Michael Jordan. He was basically my idol. My mom bought me books about him, and I even did a report on him in 5th grade. Last summer, I was given the opportunity to go to Los Angeles with Lindsay Fennelly. There was a workout that was designed for the people who were going on the trip. It was a big commitment, 6 out of 7 days a week of hard work. I decided to give it a try. I knew that my mom wasn't going to make me do it, so I took an hour and a half to 2 hours out of my day, 6 out of 7 days a week in my summer, and it made me feel so good. It was that feeling you get when you accomplish something amazing without anyone telling you to do it. When I was in LA, we did a ton of workouts. Many of them involved a sand and or a hill. Workouts in sand were harder, but you felt the most accomplished when you were done. On the second day, we went to the A hill, which is basically a hill that goes straight up with a big letter A at the top. We started with short sprints halfway up the hill and started getting higher. Then, at the end, we all did a charge up the hill. This hurt so much. The ground was slippery from loose rocks, and you were basically climbing up a ladder because it was so steep. I attacked that hill like my heart depended on it, and when I got to the top, I was so happy. Then, when we got back down, we were given the opportunity to go again. I am embarrassed to say this, but I said no. I regretted that decision for the rest of the trip, but I decided that it wouldn't happen again. I decided that no matter how much I hurt and how tired I was, I would keep going, and that is exactly what I'm doing. So, this is my faith. My faith is to always make the most out of everything because you only get one life, so don't waste it wishing you had another chance.
It has been a pleasure to be a mentor for Raisa, who is a kind and thoughtful realist.
Hello, my name is Raisa Chowdhury, and before I start my faith statement, I would like to thank every single member of this church for contributing to my wonderful childhood and my transition to youth. And I'd also like to give special thanks to Robert for being my mentor through the COA program. My family spent lots of time thinking of a good name that both a Catholic and a Muslim family will enjoy. Raisa is rooted from Persia and was the middle name of my great-great-grandfather, who was Abid Raisa Chowdhury. It means contentment. Arun, my middle name, means sunshine in Bangla. My last name, Chowdhury, is a name from the Indian subcontinent. I love my name because of how unique it is. It shows my unique family. In my life, I have many strong values. I value friendship. Friendship is an important symbol of trust and loyalty. I believe you should always stick with your friends through thick and thin. I've been a friend to many people. I feel like I've finally grown into myself this year as a teenage boy. I think one of the biggest reasons for this change is the COA program. In open group sharing, I was able to listen to others. I learned that each of us had different reasons why we believe in what we do. I also learned how to be a more caring and compassionate person. In second grade, I found myself in a new school after my parents moved to Urbandale. I'd made one friend, and I had also made an enemy. My enemy's name was Jack. Every day, we argued on the playground and called each other names. I was worried when I saw that he was my classmate for third grade as well. My parents told me to forget the past and look to the future. The first day of school, I didn't say much until first recess. On our way out to recess, we started talking in line. It felt like this was a completely different person. We were fast friends and spent many years hanging out. Who knows if I was the one creating the barrier or if it was him. But today, I can appreciate the lesson that I learned from Jack. For me, it was making yourself open to new relationships and friendships. I value family. Our family is extremely important to me. For years, we have traveled to Nebraska for the holidays to see my grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. We visit family in New York, Iowa, and even across the globe in Bangladesh. Over the years, this time I've spent with my family has shown me how they encourage me and how they are always helping me become a better person. I respect their beliefs, whether Christianity or Islam, as they respect my beliefs about a higher power. I love my family and thank them for my life and the sacrifices they've made for me. I value knowledge. I believe knowledge is power. Knowledge is how we understand and view life. It changes the way people think. I value the power of knowledge because of its impact on today's world. People are scared of what they don't know. Fear can drive or override all other feelings and make people impulsive. There are many examples of impulsive people in today's world. For example, some people fear immigrants, even though our entire nation was built on immigration. I would like to be someone who accepts those around me for where they are now and not someone who judges based on characteristics. After all, we're all humans, and every human is equal. As a youth and not a child now, I have finally seen to be myself and not someone who I'm not. I have my strengths and also my weaknesses, and I would like to share some with you now. Staying on schedule? No. Even slightly organized? Mm-mm. Living in the moment? Yes. Finding 10 uses for a chair other than sitting in it? Yes. Actually sitting in the chair? No. Piano? No. Drum set? Yes. Comedian? Yes. Somber? Mm-mm. Classical? Nope. Hip-hop? Yes. I will finish the statement of value and faith with my favorite quote from Albert Einstein. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life thinking that it is stupid.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Peterson, and I have been a mentor to Nora McCormack all year. And every week I was always impressed with how easily she spoke from her heart. She is really just an amazing young woman, and she's just vibrant and caring and just a really, really sweet person. It's been really fun. Thanks.
Hi, my name's Nora. I'm 14 years old, and I've recently completed the Coming of Age program. I'd like to start with a story. I've grown up in the Unitarian Universalist Church in Cedar Falls. I don't remember any big events that changed my life. However, last night, my parents told me a story about me when I was 5. My family went to my aunt and uncle's church one Sunday. The priest was blessing newborns. He had said that the babies were born sinners. I was very confused and said to my parents, but I haven't done anything bad. That's how my parents knew from a young age that I belonged in a church like this. I have learned a lot about my faith in the Coming of Age program. We also learned about certain values that Unitarian Universalists have, such as noticing the inherent worth and dignity in every person. I like to think of this first principle as kind of giving people a chance and understanding that they can change if they want to. Some values that I have are acceptance, caring, helping others, being kind, and allowing yourself to change. The person that I believe I am right now is very accepting of all people. I also think that I am empathetic, caring, kind, and happy. There are many questions about religion that we discussed in coming of age. One question was, do you believe in a God? I don't believe in a God because there's no scientific evidence that proves this. I do believe in evolution and the Big Bang Theory, but I don't think that there's a higher power. I believe this because it's a logical and evidence-based answer to how we got here. Some things that I believe in are the interdependent web. This means that one person's actions can impact another person's. We also talked about what happens when you die. I don't believe that there's an afterlife or that you've reincarnated. I think that you just die. I do, however, believe that you live on, figuratively speaking, through others' memories. I think that people have the right to believe whatever religion they want to believe. I also think that people have the right to believe in a religion at all. I think that all the values and beliefs that I've discussed can be related back to the person that I believe I am right now and the person I want to be. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dan Purcell, and I've had the extraordinary privilege this year of mentoring Max Jensen. It's been an incredible pleasure, and I'd like to also, on behalf of all the mentors, extend my thanks to the youth for letting us be part of this extraordinary journey. When I think of Max, I think of humor, I think of a team player, and I think of wisdom. Max.
Hi, everybody. My name is Maxwell August Jensen, and as my mentor said, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. I recently completed this amazing coming-of-age class. Before I start this statement, I would like to thank everyone from my mentors to my classmates, especially Dan for guiding me through my journey as an adolescent, Jean for teaching me this faith I am a part of, and the rest of my facilitators, Sally, Mark, Catherine, Scott, and Keegan. But most importantly, my parents for always being there and providing a roof over my head. Now about my faith. I believe not in a power of a God, but I believe in a power of a community. This is why I love the UU Church of Des Moines. Because no matter who you are, and no matter what you believe in, this community will always be here for you. When I moved to Des Moines 2 years ago, I was very skeptical about going to church. Not only because I considered myself an atheist, but I thought church was boring. So when I came to this church, it was a pleasant surprise to me that the people were very welcoming and the service was enjoyable. I thought this would make a great home for me and my family. And my views as a person started to change, from not believing in anything to admitting that I don't know what's out there. I came to align myself with the UU values. I am happy that my parents put me under the roof and supported me with my many interests that come and go. I feel fortunate and to have such a community as mine. My faith almost aligns perfectly with the first principle, which states that each person has their own inherent worth and dignity. I love this principle because I like to think that I follow it by respecting people even if they're less fortunate than me. I was having trouble writing this faith statement until I was watching an episode of The X-Files. And as most X-Files episodes go, there's an illogical and a logical explanation. And even though you'd like to believe it was aliens or creepy spider monsters, there's usually a logical, scientific answer. I always want to side with the side of science, but I can't always let this happen. Some of the mysterious things happen, and you can't deny them. Overall, I'm not sure about a God or an afterlife, but I know that the community of the UU Church will support me through my journey. Thank you for everyone to listening. Thanks everyone for listening to our faith statements.